Hello, welcome. My name is Phil Taylor from bodylanguagematters.com, where you can learn about nonverbal communication, body language cues, psychology, and tricks to get you ahead in today's society. So this is a video that we're going to be looking at of Russell Brand. This is the second one that's come out since all the accusations of some heinous crimes that he's been accused of over on social media and other platforms, as well as the media, the mainstream media. But it's important to note right now he hasn't gone to court and it hasn't been proven guilty or not guilty either way. This is an unbiased video or recording. We don't really have an opinion on whether he's done this or he hasn't. What we're going to be looking at are the non-verbal tells, the framing, his language that he uses, so the way that he says things as well. And also, we'll be looking at other ideas around what's going on in Russell's head at this time. Uh, as sort of you can imagine the pressure that this guy is under right now. This video is something I wanted to sort of pick up on and start a series again, and understanding how sort of people communicate, and this is quite an interesting one to say the least. So let's just jump in right there. This is literally the first frame of the video, and as you can see, Russell Brand looks like Jesus to me. If you go into any church or almost any Christian church up and down the country, England, UK, this is how Jesus is portrayed. Long hair, right? Long hair, beard, and in sort of like a white shirt or sort of roby sort of sense. So the innocence right there as well. And also there's something else in his frame that's very interesting, to me anyway, from a psychology point of view or NLP point of view. We've got a light and dark in the background. Now I don't know if that's done deliberately. I've got a sneaky suspicion that could be. So if you look here to Russell's right, it's dark, and to his left, it's light. But also, we've got something living in the left-hand side, which is to the frame of that, which is interesting to say the least. Anyway, let's get into the video.
Hello there, you awakening wonders. Obviously, it's been an extraordinary and distressing week, and I thank you very much for your support and for questioning the information that you.
So he kicks off with an exhale. So something's gone before this. Something's been said before this.
You've been presented with. By now, you're probably aware that the British government have asked big tech platforms.
So big tech platforms is pointing towards his right hand side, which is the dark side. Interesting again from an NLP point of view.
To censor our online content, and that some online platforms have complied with that request. What you may not know is that this happens in the context of the Online Safety Bill, which is a piece of UK legislation that grants sweeping surveillance and censorship powers, and it's a law that has
Sweeping surveillance sensitive powers. Okay, you may not know this. These words chosen. I think he's reading off an auto cue, or this has definitely been scripted in a sense. Don't forget that he's a presenter by trade as well, and he's good at articulating himself and presenting to a camera.
already been passed. I also don't imagine you've heard of the Trusted News Initiative.
I also don't imagine that you've heard of the Trusted News Initiative. So that was sort of like up and out, and so he wanted to get this across.
Now, as is often the case when a word like trusted is used as part of an acronym to describe an unelected body, trust is the last thing you should be offering.
Okay, so now he's breaking down why you shouldn't be trusting this body.
The Trusted News Initiative is a collaboration between big tech and
To his right again, big tech, dark side.
legacy media organizations to target, control,
So again, to target to the right, control,
choke, and shut down independent
target, control, choke, all negative connotation words, very powerful as well.
media organizations like this one. We'll be
Like this one. So there wasn't an emphasis. It was like this one, soft.
talking about that on our show on Monday on Rumble. But just to give you an idea of what the TNI is, this is a quote from one of their spokespeople. Because the actual real rivalry now is not between the BBC and CNN globally, it's actually between all trusted news providers and digital platforms.
All emphasized in his verbal speech.
It's clear that these organisations collaborate in constructing narratives, whether that's around
Again, to the right side, constructing narratives to the dark side, negative.
the war or the pandemic.
So who's being manipulative here? If I'm right in what I'm saying with the NLP, who is actually trying to control the narrative as well? I mean, he's got to in a sense, because if you're being accused and mainstream media is coming after you and the government sort of supposedly is coming after you as well, you have to use the tools to your advantage.
And of course, there are other examples. And it's very clear to me that we have to be very, very cautious indeed. That's why I'm asking you to follow me on Rumble. Rumble have made a clear commitment to free speech, and Rumble is the primary platform that we will be streaming from. We'll be back this Monday.
We'll be back this Monday. Okay. Is he coming back on here? I presume he's going to Rumble.
And as usual, we'll be talking about deep state and corporate collusion and how ordinary democracy is anathema now, how it
Deep state corporate is an anathema. Yeah, it's interesting. His illustrators are on point.
shut down, ignored, and avoided. We'll be talking about a military industrial complex that is able to facilitate and start wars that seem sometimes to be little more than money laundering operations. And that's with all respect.
Yeah, weird. Weird. His face sort of scrunched up there. It was like disgust.
To the hundreds of thousands of victims of the numerous ongoing wars in the world at the moment. We'll be talking about the role of Big Pharma and how Big Pharma have been able to influence government policy around the world and how they've been able to evade due liability and necessary scrutiny, how they've been able to avoid media investigation that perhaps ought be due them. And of course, we'll be talking about media corruption and censorship. So please follow me on Rumble, because that's the only way that we can keep our voice. You can go to our
That's the only way we can keep our voice. Well, is he banned off YouTube? So why is he doing? Why is he on here? Or is that the only way that he can get paid to keep his voice? It's interesting.
rb.rumble.com to support me directly and keep me and our channel independent.
Keep me in our channel. Well, it's not my channel, it's your channel. Again, it's another questionable line.
And I need your support now more than ever. And more
Yeah, this you can see the honesty, and he needs the support now more than it. This is heartfelt.
than I ever imagined I would. So follow me, support our channel if you can, if it's within your means. But more important than any of that is that you please, if you can, stay free. Hello there, you're waiting.
Please, if you can, stay free. It's really interesting. Again, I've not got any thoughts on whether he's guilty or not guilty. Just following the story and looking at the non-verbal cues and the psychology around this as well. What I really sort of felt or found interesting was the Jesus sort of look, and also the light and dark of the NLP, where you can put something on the bad side or the right side in this case, and the good side and left. Not that it was used too much, but it was interesting to see the differences and maybe the technique being used. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've just made it all up and I'm totally wrong. But it's interesting, nevertheless, to look at this video from a psychology and a psychological point of view, as well as a non-verbal as well. So thank you again for watching and listening. I hope you found it interesting. Please drop some comments, like and subscribe, as everyone always says, and we'll see you again on the other side. Good night. God bless. Goodbye.